This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and let's talk about the Apple Fall event that just happened. iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 10, that's the iPhone with the X, it's pronounced 10 for those of us who are wondering, and also the new Apple Watch Series 3 with and without LTE. Oh, and there's a 4K Apple TV too. Gee, Apple finally noticed that 4K is a thing, right? So, I'm not at the event, but this is for those of you who didn't have the time to sit and watch a 2-hour live stream and want to know what's up with the new iPhones. First, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. There's no S model in between this time around. And from the front, they look an awful lot like the existing models. Same screen sizes, 4.7-inch and 5.5-inch, same resolution display. They look the same from the side even, but what's going to change is the back. The new iPhone 8 has a glass back in the iPhone 8 Plus. So why is that? And by the way, it's multi-layer and hardened glass, supposedly. This is so they can support Qi wireless charging, which is an established standard. Qi wireless chargers are on the market, so as a shocking moment, you don't have to buy a proprietary Apple accessory to wirelessly charge the iPhone. Even Samsung Qi wireless chargers are going to work. So that's a great thing. That's something that people have loved on other phones for years. You can finally do it now. Now, next year, Apple will have their Air Power Mat, which is their own Qi charger that's a big oval and can charge not just your iPhone, but the Apple Watch they hope you've bought too, and your AirPods. Right now, Qi doesn't support charging multiple devices with one pad, so Apple's actually working on developing that. It'll be out next year. Likely we'll start to see it for other manufacturers too. Though the display resolutions are the same on the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, you now get the True Tone display with a wider color gamut. And if you've seen the iPad Pros, that is a nice thing. They are not OLED, folks. They're still not OLED, sorry. 625 nits of brightness, which used to sound impressive until Samsung started breaking the 1,000 nit barrier, but I think it's adequate for most people. Camera's updated too, still 12 megapixel, but you have OIS even on the smaller iPhone now, and Apple implied that dual OIS on the iPhone 8 Plus, I hope, so the telephoto lens will have stabilization. f1.8 lenses, except for that telephoto lens is f2.8. And they added a neat new studio lighting effect and improved portrait mode for the telephoto lens on the Plus model, which is nice. It needs something that certainly did need to evolve. Pricing has crept up. Your basic iPhone 8 smallest storage capacity model is $699. The Plus model starts at $799. There's only two capacities now, 64 gigabyte and 256 gigabyte. If you want to move up to 256 gigabyte, then that's another $150. The standard gold color is gone. You have space gray. I guess they're not trying out that glossy black. That was a challenge because of all the scratchiness. But you have space gray, you have silver, and you have what they call gold, but is really the pinky rose gold color. So 3 colors to choose from. Apple's A11 Bionic CPU, yes, they really called it that, I couldn't make that up, is inside, which they claim is up to 70% faster than the A10, and it handles a lot of the advanced image processing that's going on for the cameras, so hey, it's going to be put to good use. Pre-order starts September 15th, and it'll be available in stores. I'm sure there'll be a mad rush to get them, though, on September 22nd. More excitingly, the iPhone 10, or the one that has the big X, for those of you who've been reading about it but not hearing it spoken because we have to wait for Apple to make it official as to how to pronounce it. I guess there never will be an iPhone 9, now that means. Well, the rumors and leaks were pretty accurate, what you've seen, that near bezel-free design, the kind of unibrow above the display where there are a bunch of sensors. There's an infrared sensor for doing facial recognition. There's a dot sensor that maps 30,000 points on your face for the new Face ID facial recognition, which they need because they did indeed axe the home button, which was the Touch ID button. So it's going to be doing facial recognition now. It actually flunked when they tried to do a demo of it on screen, but they claim that it's even more secure than Touch ID, which has a 50,001 chance of being hacked. This is supposed to be 1,000,000 to 1. So it actually, you can't fool it with the photograph. It uses those IR sensors to look for blood vessels underneath the skin, so a mere photograph won't do it. It sounds like it could be secure. How well is it going to work? I don't know. Certainly, it is the future. You just want to be able to look at your phone and have it unlock. Sort of like Samsung and other makers were trying to do with iris unlocking, but that's usually not so quick and not great for eyeglass wearers. As a result of this, well, we have to have new ways of getting around, don't we, without a home button. So you're going to have to swipe up to go home, swipe down to get control center, and so on. For multitasking, you've got more swipes. It's sort of like WebOS. The WebOS paradigm for navigation is just never going to quite go away. I'm not so sure if usability isn't suffering just for the cosmetic beauty of having a full screen glass display. By the way, it's a 5.8-inch display and Apple's first AMOLED, also the first display to go beyond full HD resolution. Finally, it's 2436 by 1125 pixels. That's 458 ppi, approximately 19.5 to 9 aspect ratio, so not unlike the Galaxy S8 models. Tall, not so wide. It's also physically smaller than the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 7 Plus too. So for those of you who found the old one too tall and too wide, this is narrower and not as tall also. So that's a good thing. The bad thing is, yes, indeed, it starts at $999 for the 64 gig model. It's $1,149 if you want the 256 gig model. Also, you're going to have to wait. Pre-orders start October 27th, and it will be available November 3rd of this year. Lastly, there's Apple Watch Series 3, and the big model there is the LTE model. There'll still be the usual Bluetooth plus Wi-Fi model for $329, but there's going to be an LTE model, $399. Also pre-orders September 15th, shipping on September 22nd, and available at your carrier stores too. Don't know what the LTE plan pricing is going to be like or anything like that. You still do need an iPhone as a companion to it. Alas, it is not iPhone independent, but you can do things like stream Apple Music wirelessly. I'm sure Spotify, using the Spotify app for the Apple Watch. watchOS 4 comes out on September 19th, and that adds some health monitoring stuff, particularly for heart monitoring. It now detects your resting heart rate using an accelerometer and stuff like that versus your active heart rate. It can tell you if your resting heart rate suddenly goes very high. Say you're watching Stephen King's It in the theater. I'm not sure if you really wanted to be doing this, but that's an option. And they have an arrhythmia detector now. They've been working with Stanford University scientists to perfect that, and I guess they feel like it's good enough to go. So that could be a good one, since a lot of people don't know they have an arrhythmia. That's it for Apple's announcements. Now you hopefully know what you need to know if you want to go ahead and pre-order it or not, or read and watch more. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos. Thumbs up if you like this vid.